We are the Dream Team, and our organization today is called SHAC, the Student Housing Action Coalition, a home for housing at USF. So we started down this road thinking that we would focus on gentrification in the Bay Area. But as we began our work, we also bonded over our shared struggles with housing, specifically due to the pandemic. We decided to focus more on the direct housing issues facing our student population, and we realized that although the pandemic has definitely exacerbated the problem, this issue isn't going away, and there is so much more we can do as a community to help each other. In working to highlight and better understand the many gaps in support for affected student populations, one of the biggest problems we pinpointed was students not understanding the existing housing resources available to them or being intimidated by the process and not feeling equipped to navigate the system. We decided to form SHAC, a dream team of student housing SHACtivists working to bring better understanding and cohesive aggregated resources directly to the USF student community, coordinating with both USF resources and outside organizations to provide as many avenues of support as possible. SHAC provides student to student advocacy as well as an accessible bridge to usable resources to meet the extreme needs that have been escalated by the pandemic, and provides a social media platform to promote services and emphasize specific housing issues. So let's meet the dream team. My name is Jocelyn. I am a first semester senior transfer student. I'm from Mountain View, California, and I'm an international studies major, music minor.
I'm Zoe. I'm a senior Spanish studies major with a minor in Jewish studies and social justice, or also known as JSSJ, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Hi, I'm Anissa. I'm a senior biology major and I'm originally from Chicago.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm originally from East Los Angeles. I am currently a psychology major with the Chicana and Latinx studies minor.
Hello, everyone. I'm Houston. I'm a junior in National Business and Marketing major, and my hometown is Washington, D.C. This project represents our team's core values of social justice, community building, accessibility, and equity. Our goal is to identify and meet students' needs, create a more nurturing space for our community, and guarantee that students have access to the resources they need to succeed, and do so in a way that ensures that everyone has an equal opportunity. We found compelling data to support the efficacy of peer programs in universities. According to research from Johns Hopkins University and Michigan State University, peer-to-peer programs like ours provide valuable avenues of support and involvement. According to one educator, many studies note that undergraduate peers are the single most powerful source of influence on undergraduate student effective growth and development in college. This data supports SHAC's central goals, that we as students are one of our own best resources.
As everyone knows, housing is always an issue in the Bay Area. Although current rent averages have gone down 20% in the last year, as you can see, average rent has also gone up 42.5% since 2010. Minimum wage, although being fairly high in comparison to national averages, is not enough to support a student paying rent and tuition. USF housing prices are more affordable, but there simply aren't enough beds to go around. According to data from the National Apartment Association in San Francisco, overall there are about 80,000 students with a total of 9,000 total available student beds, a jarring statistic. Feedback from students emphasized the difficulty in procuring housing and the lack of housing stability and flexibility. One student said, "I was an RA during my time at USF, and being displaced was just always one mistake away. Also, finding short-term leases for the summertime was nearly impossible. I was so blessed to find a place the summer before my senior year through my friend who knew someone that posted on their Snapchat story literally 2 weeks before I had to start my internship." According to our own survey data taken this year, the majority of students are currently living at home or off campus. Pre-COVID numbers show the majority of students surveyed were on campus, so you can see the huge levels of displacement. The majority of students were not offered housing aid and overwhelmingly experienced financial hardship regarding rent and housing. Our data specifically shows that students did not find the resources offered to be useful, and this points to the larger problem with students feeling intimidated or unable to navigate necessary systems of resources, even when there are actually many services available to them.
As a Student Housing Action Coalition, we wanted to make sure to represent and serve the immigrant student community, especially for our DACA students, and focus on the housing issues they face. An important outside resource partner we found was CRC, which is the California Reinvest Coalition, specifically within their Here to Stay campaign. CRC's Here to Stay campaign prioritizes the voices of impacted immigrant communities in the Bay Area and is building a leadership platform for immigrants to advocate for their needs. Through their research, they have engaged community members and identified opportunities for leadership development. Our connection and contacts with the Here to Stay campaign allows us to build a bridge for student populations with an emphasis on identifying opportunities for affordable housing, navigating financial barriers, and building financial literacy skills. In our survey, we were also able to retrieve a quote from a USF student who described their experience as an immigrant student. "I was the first in my family to leave Colombia, and entering a new country was a scary thing. Not only did I feel nervous speaking English, but also trying to assimilate into American society can be intimidating for an 18-year-old, as you could imagine. It was tough not having enough resources for my off-campus housing. My job didn't pay enough, and I was jumping from couch to couch just so I could stay in San Francisco." Our immigrant student community faces many additional barriers to accessing and affording housing, and often have the hardest time navigating the system due to language barriers and so much more. According to the Here to Stay campaign, 80% of undocumented families already spend over half their earnings on rent, and undocumented and immigrant student communities bear the heaviest burdens when it comes to housing, which is why we are partnering with the CRC. Here to Stay campaign actually holds a series of community visioning sessions and strategy discussions to arrive at a series of recommendations for the campaign moving forward. In some cases, the Here to Stay campaign will actually lead efforts to other current efforts that are already underway. CRC works with many policymakers, community partners, and they all work collectively on solution-driven policies to increase access to mortgage loans and affordable leases for immigrant families and youth. Affordable housing must be a priority for policymakers to ensure immigrants can continue their education and careers. CRC additionally pushes for financial institutions to create a pathway for immigrant youth to open their own bank accounts before turning 18, so that young people and students have more tools to manage their cash and learn about credit.
So SHAC has established a partnership with the Office of Off-Campus Living, and Associate Director Andrea Rocha specifically noted, "The largest challenge we face is getting students to use the services that we have. The Office of Off-Campus Living provides a variety of vital services, and these are resources that students are already paying for in their tuition, but often don't take advantage of. These services include helping with housing searches and finding roommates, navigating and negotiating leases, tenants' rights, managing conflicts, financial literacy like budget deposits and credit scores, and also avoiding scams." Andrea welcomed the idea of SHAC, pointing to the value in our roles as a bridge between students and the Office of Off-Campus Living, where we would function as ambassadors, peer educators, and advocates, while also highlighting issues facing the off-campus student community. We will build the SHAC movement by spreading the word via a targeted outreach campaign. This will be on our social media, on all possible USF social media platforms, through our connections with ASUSF and the SF Foghorn, and through departmental newsletters. We hope to host monthly open forums to spread the word about our organization, open a discussion for students to air their perspectives, and to highlight specific student housing issues. We will bring in our partner organizations for their expert advice while connecting students to relevant resources. Finally, we'll use our social media platform to document our progress, highlight issues, and share student perspectives and partner information. We are so excited about the potential of SHAC, and we truly believe that our organization provides vital services and increased accessibility while also bringing equity for the USF student community. Not only that, this is a scalable model that could someday service students nationwide through the three-step process of building a team of student advocates, connecting with the relevant partners, and generating activism and awareness. You can find us on Instagram at SHAC-USF for more info. And we'd like to specifically thank Joan and Bob McGrath for their generosity and support, as well as Andrea Rocha, the Here to Stay campaign, Bob Just and Michelle Cerami, Lester Deans, and our fellow McGrath cohorts. Thank you all so much.